right, good evening. I officially call the City of Travelers Rest City Council meeting to order for Thursday, June the 8th. It's so nice to have such a cool crowd here tonight. We have someone special to celebrate, but first, if you will please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you, and I will ask Councilmember Catherine James to please pray for council.
Let us pray. God, thank you for bringing us together today in a spirit of community. Grant us light to know the needs of those we are privileged to serve and strength to make wise decisions for the benefit of all. May we honor one another by keeping open minds. May we voice the truth and listen with open hearts. We ask for wisdom, compassion, and grace to use our time in this chamber for the betterment of our city and our neighbors. We offer this prayer in deep gratitude. Amen.
Thank you, Catherine. All right. First, we have approval of our minutes from our previous meeting. Do I have a motion to approve our meeting minutes from the regular council meeting for May the 21st of 2026?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Kelly. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Sherry. Any edits or questions? All in favor? All right, motion carries. Thank you for that. All right, what we have for tonight, proclamation for Lee Perkins. Lee, if you want to come on up here. This is a special night. Lee, you've been here before I was here, which is kind of crazy to think we're growing up and thinking about Travelers Rest, and I'm sure you have some stories of 20 years ago, but we appreciate the fire department and your service. You have been a steady, consistent voice in really us growing for the last couple years and building up the fire department that has all these young newbies that have come out to honor you tonight. But we just want to tell you how much we appreciate you. We're excited and also a little jealous for your retirement, but it sounds like you still have a full plate of things to do. But we just want to recognize you from a city council standpoint. You've done a great job for us and stuck with us over the years, and we very much appreciate you. And so we have a proclamation, and then your team has a gift for you as well. And so if I could read this proclamation to you and embarrass you in front of your family and friends for a little bit. Whereas Lee Perkins began his career with the Travelers Rest Fire Department on February 1st of 2006. Whereas throughout his distinguished career, he served with pride, dedication, and integrity, consistently demonstrating an unwavering commitment to excellence in fire service. Through hard work, leadership, and professional achievement, he rose through the ranks to position of captain in 2009, earning the respect and admiration of his fellow firefighters and colleagues. Captain Perkins faithfully served the citizens of the city of Travelers Rest for 20 years, providing emergency response, public safety, and community service with professionalism, courage, and compassion. Captain Perkins' legacy will live on through the fire service community of Travelers Rest and Greenville County through the many young men you've mentored throughout your career. Your contributions to the fire department and the community have left a lasting impact, strengthening the department and enhancing the safety and well-being of the citizens you serve. After 2 decades of dedicated service, Captain Perkins retires with a legacy of leadership, commitment, and honorable service that will be remembered and appreciated for years to come. Now therefore be it resolved that the City of Travelers Rest and the Travelers Rest Fire Department hereby express their sincere gratitude and appreciation to Captain Lee Perkins for his 20 years of dedicated service and extend their heartfelt congratulations and best wishes for a long, healthy, and fulfilling retirement. Congratulations, Lee.
While she's coming around, I'm going to say a few things here because I happened to be on council when you came on. So thank you for the time that you have spent here, and I challenge these young bucks that are over there now that are your age when you came in for you to stick around and do as good a job as this man has done. Thank you very much.
from behind the ugly podium. Don't trip on the wire, please.
Young ones on their knees.
I don't know what young ones you're talking about.
It's Keurig, so it's good enough.
Oh, no. So. Oh, no. Is that one? You know what I'm talking about? Oh, he loves this. I think we should. His wife is loving it. His face is like.
All right, one more. Council wants a picture with you two. You're that important. You gotta get council.
They're watering with some emotion.
He had his speech prepared, but he's gonna save it for later. Thank you all for being here for our fire guys and Lee's family as well. It's nice to see you. Thank you.
I had lunch with Lee's new boss today.
Oh, nice.
And don't worry, I gave him
Okay,
a
good.
piece of our mind.
Glowing. Nobody called me for reference,
Yeah,
but that's
never.
fine.
I said, don't come after any others.
Those are the fun parts of what we get to do. But it's also like, wow, Lee's been here forever.
Oh.
All right. Jay, would you mind shutting those doors for me, please? They might take some pictures out there. Bye. Thank you. All right, next we'll move on to our public hearing for the City of Travelers Rest fiscal year 2027 budget. We'll now open for public discussion of the City of Travelers Rest budget. Do we have anyone signed up? We do not. Anyone here that would like to speak to the budget that's not signed up? All right, I think if someone comes in last minute or something like that, just let us know and we can always make some type of accommodation. We will now close the public hearing for the City of Travelers Rest fiscal year 2027 budget. Citizen participation, we have none. Ordinances and resolutions for second reading. Our first one is for, please hold. We're starting our budget for our guests tonight. I know we have some regulars, but so we're in budget season, and this is second reading for budget. And so we had our big discussions month of May regarding our budgets, and again, we go into second reading. So first up, we have the ordinance for the general fund budget. Grant, do I hear a motion for ordinance, or you say this, or you go
It's
for it?
coming. Yep.
Yeah, you do it.
Here's, I make a motion to approve the second reading of ordinance O-04-26 to adopt the fiscal year 2027 general fund budget. Presenting before council the City of Travelers Rest the fiscal year 2027 general fund budget by making appropriations, levying taxes and fees for the fiscal year beginning July 1, 2026 and ending June 30, 2027. To provide for budget control of said appropriations by the Travelers Rest City Council and such other matters related therefore effective July 1, 2026. There is hereby levied upon the taxable property within the city limits of Travelers Rest, South Carolina, for the fiscal year beginning July 1, 2026 and ending June 30, 2027, as ad valorem tax of 82.9 on every dollar assessed valuation, combined with other anticipated revenues accruing to the City of Travelers Rest, shall be sufficient to produce $9,313,968 in revenues. The fiscal year 2027 general fund budget expenditures are $10,596,108. In addition, the incorporated rate fee schedule is approved and fully set forth as part of the ordinance unless otherwise amended by City Council, and the incorporated capital improvement plan, CIP, is approved and set forth verbatim as part of the ordinance also. That is my motion.
Sure there's nothing else? That was, that was a long one.
I read all that was here.
It's important, it's important. All right, you heard that motion, we have a second?
Second.
All right, second by Catherine. All right, any summaries or discussions?
And, basically, the summary is, one, there is no tax increase. Two, the expenditures that we are expending do equal exactly what the revenue coming in is. It is a completely balanced budget. And I thank you to Carson and Ms. Shannon for putting all this together and presenting it to council in this manner.
Does anyone on council have any additional questions, discussion regarding the general fund budget? Okay, all in favor? Motion carries. Thank you for that. Next, we'll move for local hospitality tax and local accommodations tax fund.
I make a motion to approve the second reading of ordinance 0-05, I'm sorry, O-05-026 to adopt the fiscal year 2027 local hospitality tax fund and local accommodations tax fund budget. That is my motion.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, second. All right.
Okay, the hospitality tax revenues are projected at $1,513,813 with expenditures of $1,505,013. Accommodation tax revenues are projected at $188,000 with expenditures of $177,500. Both are restricted funds and may only be used for purposes authorized by state law, primarily tourism, hospitality, and accommodation-related initiatives. So these monies are not run through our general fund. They do not have anything to do with the actual running of the city. They are strictly for accommodations or hospitality tax expenditures.
All right, any questions, further discussion? Local hospitality and accommodations. All in favor? Motion carries. Thank you. Next, we have our Victims Advocate Fund budget.
I make a motion to approve the second reading of ordinance O-06-26 to adopt fiscal year 2027 Victims Advocate Fund budget.
You've heard that motion. We have a second.
Second.
Second by Sherry. Okay.
The Victims Advocate Fund is a restricted fund also created to support victims of specific crimes within the city limits of Travelers Rest, including eligible counseling and assistance programs. This is a great program for those that may be victims of crime within our city limits.
Any further discussion? All in favor? Motion carries. Thank you, Grant. Next, we have our Tree Mitigation Fund.
I make a motion to approve the second reading of ordinance O-07-26 to adopt the fiscal year 2027 Tree Mitigation Fund budget.
Heard that motion. We have a second.
Second.
Okay, second by Kelly.
All right, this is also related, it's another restricted fund relating to tree mitigation within the city, allowing us to do things specifically for our tree canopy.
Any further discussion? All right, all in favor? Motion carries. Thank you. General Obligation Bond.
All right, I make a motion to approve the second reading of ordinance O-08-26 to adopt fiscal year 2027 General Obligation Bond.
Heard that motion. We have a second.
Second.
Second by Lisa.
All right, this bond is a yearly bond that we have to renew yearly. It was used and issued to purchase and construct the very building that we are in right now. And it's renewed annually, and it's just part of the budget process that we go through each year.
All right, any further discussion? All in favor? Motion carries. Thank you, Grant. All right, next and again, thank you for all the budget work. We know that's a big part of Shannon and Carson's job. It's a big responsibility of council, and we take that very seriously, and appreciate Grant and Lisa for lending their accountant and fiscal brains to that as well, financial brains. And so a big deal. Budget done. We move forward. We'll have a celebration after this meeting. We'll do a little dance for it. All right, so next we have Catherine regarding ordinance on North Main zoning map and amendment.
All right. I make a motion to approve the second reading of ordinance O-03-26, zoning map amendment moving 314 North Main from R10 to R7.5.
Okay, you've heard that motion. We have a second.
Second.
Second by Cheryl. And we desperately missed you, Jay, on Monday. And so Jay Martin is here. If you want to give us a short summary, or Catherine, is that okay? Or did you have something you wanted to read too?
You want me to read the
Yeah, that'd be
brief
great. Thank you. And then
description?
Jay's here for questions.
Okay.
Yeah.
The recorded boundary survey with Greenville County shows the property contains 15,000 square feet, meeting the minimum requirement to subdivide into two 7,500 square foot lots under R7.5 zoning. The request is to rezone from R10 to R7.5 to allow that subdivision into two parcels. The proposal was unanimously recommended for approval by both the Planning Commission and staff.
All right. Does anyone on council have any questions? Again, this is for second reading. Okay, all in favor? All right, motion carries. Thank you, Catherine. All right, next we'll move into our committee report. I have the Personnel Committee report in Councilmember Shanice's absence. The Personnel Committee met on June the 15th. An addendum to the Employee Handbook Grievance Policy was approved, and newly elected members of the Grievance Committee were approved. Next, we'll have our Public Works Committee, Chair Lane.
Public Works has been very busy, I can tell you that. The Public Works Committee met on June 15th to approve the May 11th minutes. The June 7th glass recycling event at Gateway Park was successful, with approximately 60 vehicles participating and about 3,500 pounds of glass collected. Additional events are scheduled for September and December of 2026 and March and June of 2027. Construction of the diagonal crossing at McElhaney Road is nearing completion. Paver installation is almost complete, and all signal infrastructure has been installed, and SCDOT is expected to complete striping soon. Work on the new traffic signal at Tubbs Mountain Road and North Poinsett Highway is progressing, with the contractor on site and the signal expected to be operational within the next few weeks. The planned crosswalk near Pinestone on Main Street will be relocated closer to Loftus Printing and will include a connection to the Swamp Rabbit Trail. The design will meet ADA accessibility requirements. A new sidewalk sections were installed along Benton Road between Little Texas and the CBS entrance, and connectivity was improved between Zaxby's and the adjacent gas station. Staff are evaluating utility impacts before extending the remaining sidewalk section. The Poinsett Extension project continues to progress well, with demolition and construction moving quickly. Lane closures are expected to remain in place for approximately 7 to 8 more weeks, and staff have continued outreach efforts with affected businesses. Vandalized park cameras at Gateway Park led to the identification and charging of suspects using camera footage. Staff reported that park vandalism has decreased since surveillance cameras were installed, and noted that the cameras provide live monitoring capabilities. The city's septic tank pump-out assistance program remains active through March 2029. Approximately 15 to 20 pump-outs were completed during the current fiscal year, and properties pumped after March 2026 will not be eligible for another pump-out before the program sunsets. Staff plan to notify affected residents as the program nears its conclusion. Staff continue working with the manufacturer to address warranty repairs for the merry-go-round and associated rubberized surfacing at Trailblazer Park. SADOT's Highway 25 and North Poinsett improvements include a new traffic signal to better control traffic entering Highway 25 and the construction of an acceleration lane to improve merging. That is it.
Thank you, Lisa. I appreciate it. Public Safety Committee report, Chair Byers.
The Public Safety Committee met on June 15th to approve the May 11th minutes. The committee reviewed the following from the May public safety reports. For police, the department reported several significant cases during May. Chief Ford noted that the police department continues to make progress toward accreditation and is closer than ever to that goal. For fire, due to a national fire truck manufacturing delay, the originally ordered pumper has been pushed out significantly, with delivery now likely into spring of next year. The department secured a 2026 stock pumper in Piedmont, requiring minor upfits and expected for delivery by late September. The new unit is expected to come in under budget, allowing possible purchase of additional equipment while still meeting operational needs. Captain Lee Perkins retired on the 10th. For building, the building department reported no unusual activity, with collection fees holding steady in the low $20,000 range. Current activity is entirely residential with no active commercial projects underway.
Thank you, Kelly. Next, we have Planning and Development Committee, Chair James.
The Planning and Development Committee met on June 15th to approve the May 11th minutes. A zoning map amendment for Williams Road was sent to full council, annexing approximately 8.15 acres into the City of Travelers Rest and zoning it R15 residential. Staff and Planning Commission recommended approval. A zoning map amendment for 501 North Main Street from C2 commercial to R10 residential was sent to full council, with staff and Planning Commission recommending approval. And that is the
Catherine?
end.
Review our Ways and Means Financial Report, Chair Baumgartner.
All right, the Ways and Means Committee met on June 15th to approve the May 11 minutes. A resolution for a cooperation agreement between Greenville County and the municipality of Travelers Rest was approved to maintain urban county status with HUD, allowing continued eligibility for CDBG, home, and ESG grant funding. It also appoints the Greenville County Redevelopment Authority as the agent to administer any funds received through the program. The ATAX Advisory Committee grant recommendations were approved to send on to full council. Wendy Lynham from Visit Travelers Rest gave a presentation, and the budget was approved to go to full council. And an application for a PARD grant was approved to go to full council also. That ends my report.
Great, thank you, Grant. And again, for our guests, those are our committee reports, so they're summaries of our meeting that we had this past Monday. Now we'll move into ordinances and resolutions for first reading. First up, we have our zoning map amendment for Greenville County, and that is under Catherine.
Okay, I make a motion to approve the first reading of ordinance O-09-26, zoning map amendment, Greenville County unzoned to City of Travelers Rest R15 concerning Williams Road.
For that motion, we have a second.
Second.
All right, second by Grant. And Catherine, you have a summary for us?
I do.
Great.
This request is to annex and rezone approximately 8.15 acres on Williams Road into the City of Travelers Rest with an R15 residential zoning designation. The property is currently unzoned and has limited development potential due to a lack of access to gravity sewer service. Sewer availability will be confirmed by Metropolitan Sewer Subdistrict as part of the review process. Staff and Planning Commission both recommend approval.
Great, thank you, Catherine. Again, this is our first reading, so we had a conversation about it in committee Monday, and we have Jay. Does anyone on council have any questions or discussion? Yes.
Jay, do you want to talk to us a little bit about the sewer concerns, availability?
So I am sorry that I was not here the other evening. I was getting back from vacation, and so I'm sorry, but not sorry. So,
You're allowed a vacation every once in a while.
with that being said, a couple statements that I kind of have written down that to kind of deal with this. The most important one that I highlighted on my list is The property that is partially within the city limits and partially unincorporated could still be developed in keeping with the regulations that govern each of the portions. In other words, it could come together as one development. It would just be reviewed by two separate entities before it went forward. And that's whether it was a summary plat or whether it was a preliminary plat. So if it came as a preliminary plat right now, it'd have to come through our commission, and it would go through Greenville Commission. That being said, sewer is the biggest thing. Number one, the piece of property already exists within the Metropolitan Sewer Sub-District. They're within the district boundaries. That does not mean that sewer extends to them. There is a sewer line that comes up Williams Road, and so it's coming up Williams Road like this, and as you know, sewer follows and it flows downhill like this. And then once it crests the hill, it goes down pretty steep on Williams Road, and this is where the property is. And so without pumping the sewer uphill to get into the sewer line, it cannot achieve sewer in that location. In order for it to achieve sewer, that is not the city's call. That is Metropolitan. Metropolitan has the right to say, hey, you're within our sewer subdistrict, you got to bring sewer to the property. If they do, they would bring it up an Enoree tributary that comes across a piece of property. They would have to bring the sewer approximately 1,700 feet to serve the property. So what comes in to effect here, and factually, is it's immaterial. It doesn't really matter if it has sewer brought to it or it doesn't have sewer brought to it, because it would still be able to be developed under the regulations for each of the entities that it would be within. So if it was to develop without sewer, Greenville County regulations would make you have 1.5 acre lots, because it's an unzoned area and that's the regulation. We, on the other hand, we say you can have a 15,000 square foot lot, but that wouldn't house a septic. You usually need about 25,000 square foot. When I looked at it, you could achieve about 15 lots on our property, and you could achieve 5 lots on the Greenville County piece for a total of 20 lots. Ironically, if it was all within the city, even though we would have a smaller septic, you would still achieve only 20 lots for the entire portion. It would not change anything.
Is that because of topography?
That's because the topography, but inside the Greenville County portion, the riparian buffers, to bring up the term we've talked about a lot, the riparian buffer is predominantly on that piece of property. So it eliminates a lot of the portion of property that is the Greenville County zoned portion. And so it has no real effect on the number of septic lots that they would be able to do. If they did 20 lots, they would have to come back to our planning commission with a plat, and it would have to be approved there. That's one way it could happen. If they are required to have sewer, and this is where things change, and I don't want to try to confuse it and make sure we all understand this. If sewer comes to the lot, we have R15 property on our portion, so you have to have 15,000 square foot lots. In the Greenville County land development regulations, if it's served by public sewer and public water, they allow 6,000 square foot lots. So they would allow on their piece of property 7.3 units per acre, and we would only allow 2.9 units per acre. So if it all came into the city, then the 2.9 units per acre would apply to the entirety of the tract, and it would lower the density from what it could be if it was split zoned. Does that make sense? And so when I looked at it, because there was a website that had some information in there, the applicant said, hey, 38 would be the number we could get on there. In reality, if you do multiply it out, it says by right you could get 56. With the big swath of riparian buffer, you can't. The number would actually be 38. And to get the 38, they would not have to change the zoning. They would not have to go for a planned development. They would not have to do anything like that. One of the things that's very important in this application is R15 zoning that is our lowest density residential. So they would be coming in as the lowest density residential. The biggest thing to me when I look at this is us just taking a piece of property that is split zoned and making it one zone, and so that it would be reviewed by one entity rather than two. And what the applicant has stated that they're looking to do is to do 6 lots. The reason they would state that is because if they do 6 lots and they don't build a public road, then they can do a summary plat. And a summary plat process has to be reviewed by us. It is reviewed for land disturbance by Greenville County, but the land disturbance on a summary plat is using best management practices. So they could do a rain garden on the property or something. They will not have a big detention pond. It is the easiest way to subdivide property and have 6 lots. It does not allow any further subdivision of lots. That's very important. You can't just say, hey, I broke it down into 6 today, and then next year you come back to me and you want to take each of the 6 and break it down into 6. It does not work that way. That is when it goes to a major subdivision and have to go to our planning commission again to be reviewed. And so that's a lot of information, but there's a lot of loose pieces to that. If there's any questions I can answer, I'll be glad
Kelly,
to.
I know you got a question. Can I ask a clarifying question to what you just mentioned? So what is the existing property that's in the city limits zone as?
R15.
Okay, so it's already R15. They can do whatever they want to some extent in county. And we could go halvesies and you do your part and we do our part, TR in Greenville County, or it could just come together under one. And again, it would still be R15.
Yes.
Okay.
In a big sense, it is, in the opinion of the planning department, it is cleaning up the map.
Sure, okay.
What it is it's surrounded on 3 sides by the city. So it's a little peninsula of Greenville County that sticks into the city. And it makes a lot of sense from that piece just to clean up that line.
Okay.
The developer came to us knowing that it did not have sewer, that it did have some issues, and he has come to us knowing that if he does develop it, he's got to develop it to our standards, which our standards are more strict than what he would if he left it the way it was, correct?
That would be correct.
Kelly, I'm sorry, we interrupted you a couple times.
Is this property being divided off of other property? Like, is it a parcel that's being separated to be annexed?
No,
or
this is one
rezoned?
parcel of property that is just split zoned.
I'm just curious about
So the
the
zoning line-
Williams Road and no road number, so I was thinking
It just-
it was access from a different.
No, it's just so whenever I look up those things, GIS assigns an address to a property. There's no address assigned for this property. It'll be in the 200 block of Williams Road. That's about as close to an address as we can get at this time.
And access to it will be from Williams Road.
It will be. So
Yeah, I'd like
access, as
to
they've
hear
shown,
about
would come off Williams Road. It will be a private drive. It can't be a public road. It can't be a private road. If it's a public or private road, it has to go through the major subdivision process. But by a private drive that goes back and provides access to each of the lots. In addition, each of the lots will have to have frontage on Williams Road. Now, the drive doesn't have to follow those little flags that come out and won't. It will follow where the drive is currently on the property, and they will access their drives off of that.
So with regards to the sewer and being in that area, is that something that they can, so regardless whether we annex them or not, is that going to be something that still comes up later? Because it seems like if Metro Connects is going to say you have to, it's going to change things quite a bit for them, potentially.
I can't really speak for Metro
Yep.
Connects. Typically, if you have a piece of property like this that's less than 20 acres, and you have 1,700 feet of sewer that you would have to extend to that, and they would have to get permission from the owners of the property they're coming across to get to them. Typically, I would think that Metro Connects would not require them to connect to the sewer. However, they could,
But it's not our call.
not our call.
How does this affect, like, with Metro Connect? So if they're in the Metro Connect sewer district, where is this in the first right of refusal for us to annex? Is that part of this process because of that?
That's a very good question. So I actually went back and looked at our agreement with Metro Connects when we sold them our sewer. What it states is, if there's a piece of property that is not currently in the Metro Connects district, so it has no district at all, if it's to be annexed into, it would actually require it to come to the city, and the city has the right not to annex, but they have to be asked first. And so if we had that happen and it was in a Metro Connects, it was outside the Metro Connects area, and it was not contiguous to the city, we wouldn't go and try to reach out and grab the piece of property. But if it was contiguous to it, then it would be brought before the council, and I believe it should be reviewed and taken under consideration as to annexing. It makes sense to annex if it was contiguous and being brought into the metro. But it has to come to us for first right of refusal. Then it can go to Metro Connects. Metro Connects would then file to Greenville County. They have to file to Greenville County to get the county council to annex into their sewer district.
Right.
It's convoluted. Like I said, there's a lot of information with the sewer.
What other questions do we have? And again, this is first readings. We got a month, and we can continue to
So,
think about it.
I'll just ask again, why do they want to be annexed?
It cleans up the split zoning.
So,
Was they're working with two entities to develop
That's
the
right.
property?
It would be the same as if it was completely in the middle of the city and you had a piece of property that was, half of it was zoned C2 and half of it was zoned R10 or something like that. It happens a lot of times. It shouldn't happen, but there's a lot of times that zoning lines just don't follow property lines. In this case, if you look at it, there was a big circle that became Travelers Rest a long time ago. And if you look at the line, it's not straight. It's part of the curved, it was just part of the original circle, and the circle bifurcated the piece of property.
so there's two streams or creeks or bodies of water going on this property, from what I can tell.
There's one that comes across, there's a blue line that shows that comes up one little edge there. I am not sure whether it actually has any water running in it or anything. The other one it is definitely a stream that crosses the property. There is no floodplain on the property. There is soil that's typically associated with wetlands. They will have to look at those things. They will have to protect the riparian buffer. There's a 100-foot wide riparian buffer. So by going summary plat, they don't get out of any of that stuff.
I was just thinking of road access with two riparian buffers on either side, that it might make it.
There is already, and if they wanted to do that, and they were putting in a public road, in crossing that, they would have a lot of work to do. In this case, there's already a crossing that exists to getting to the back of the property. It's the size of a drive, and that's why they would look at doing a private drive. And part of that tells me that they're not looking to divide the piece of property at the back into a lot of pieces of parcels, because it would require a lot of extra work.
I'm sorry, did you have another
I
one?
have one more question.
ahead.
Yeah. So if approved by council, what else, if anything, would have to come before the city, the planning commission, or council to?
That's a good question. If they decide to go with a major subdivision, which is greater than 6 lots, or has to build a road, then that's going to have to come to the planning commission to be reviewed. It'll go to the Greenville County Subdivision Advisory Committee. That's where stormwater will look at it. That's where fire will look at it. Everybody, the schools will look at it. Everybody looks at it there. And then it will come before our planning commission. If it meets our codes and regulations and they would approve it, then it would go to a final plat process. With a summary plat, it comes and it's looked at the staff level. But that staff level includes me, It includes the staff of Greenville County Land Development because they're going to look at the stormwater for it. And then it's going to require them to get letters from SCDOT that they allow the encroachment, that Metro connects, that's where they're going to come in and say, because they're going to have to weigh in and say, yes, you can do septic on these lots. And that's where Metro is going to weigh in and say yes or no. And so we have to have those letters. And then when it goes into a building process, there's a hold placed on those houses until they have a recorded piece showing the stormwater management practices that they have on each individual pieces of property.
Yeah, but you said that's if they want to do more than 6.
No,
Okay.
no, that's if you want to do 6.
Okay.
If you want to do 6, then you have to take care of the stormwater management on your property. But you can use best management property practices, which is rain gardens, vegetated swales, some of the things like that. So what they make you do is they make you survey where that is located. They make you sign that it's going to be maintained by the property owner. And once they have those things in line, then they'll release for a certificate of occupancy. So there's some steps that have to take place to make sure those things are taken care of.
Catherine?
I just wanted, this question came up on Monday night. Was there a community meeting? I know there was, but I
Yes.
just wanted to, do we have any details from that? Any
Absolutely.
comments?
There was 20 people in attendance. I believe the comments got shared back.
They did. I mean, it was like 4-word sentences, but yes, they were in there.
Yeah, there was, and so there were several comments that came back. And then when we went to Planning Commission, in the public hearing, there was one person who spoke, and their question was about sewer.
I have one more question. I was driving by the property earlier today, and there's a lot of really beautiful old trees on the property, and I imagine a lot of that is in the riparian buffer, but looking at some of the visuals provided, it looked more dense behind that. What's the back half of the property like?
It's wooded.
Okay.
It is wooded in the back half, the Greenville County piece.
Right, what other questions do we have?
Okay, so just to confirm, it's going to be a private drive and 6 lots? Is that for the whole property, or is just that for the Greenville
That's
County?
The entirety of the
The
property.
entirety of the property combined, that's what the plan is at the moment.
Anything else? All right, all in favor? Okay, motion carries. Thank you for that. All right, next up, we have ordinance regarding North Main Street. Catherine?
I make a motion to approve the first reading of ordinance O-10-26 zoning map amendment of 501 North Main Street from C2 to R10.
Great, you've heard that motion. We have a second.
Second.
Second by Cheryl. All right, summary?
The property is currently zoned C2 and has been used for office and service-oriented businesses in recent years. The required public hearing was advertised and signage was posted on the property in accordance with city requirements. Staff and Planning Commission both recommend approval.
Any questions, discussion? All in favor?
Well, I have a question. So
Be quicker, Kelly. I almost lost you.
I'm reading. So the ordinance says an ordinance to annex approximately 0.6 acres at 501 North Main Street, but we're not, this isn't. Okay. Okay.
Good catch, good catch. All right, anyone else? All right, all in favor? Okay, motion carries. All right, thank you. Jay, we just asked all those questions to make you feel important and valued here. Good, good. All right, next we have cooperative agreement, Grant Baumgartner.
I make a motion to approve the first reading of Resolution R-03-26 to approve the cooperative agreement between Greenville County and the municipality of Travelers Rest.
Okay, we've heard that motion. We have a second.
Second.
Second, Lisa. Got a summary for us, Grant?
This resolution, it approves the new cooperative agreement between Greenville County and the City of Travelers Rest to maintain urban county status with HUD allowing for continued eligibility of CDBG funds, home funds, and the ESG grant funding. It also appoints Greenville County Redevelopment Authority as the agent to administer any funds received through the program. We have to go through and do this every few years anyway, so it's just a renewal from what we've done in previous years.
Any further discussion? All in favor? Okay, motion carries. All right, old business, we have none. New business, I make a motion to approve the grievance policy for the employee handbook. Do I have a second?
Second.
A second by Kelly. I'll give you a brief description. This is our grievance policy has been updated to provide a clear process for employees to raise concerns and have them addressed. These changes help ensure grievances are reviewed in a timely manner, documented appropriately, and worked through fairly at each step of the process. The policy was written by our human resource representative at Find Great People, and thus has been vetted and is in line with industry standards. This is to help us with our accreditation process. Any further discussion? Okay, all in favor? Thank you for that. Motion carries. All right, next, I make a motion to approve the Employee Grievance Committee members. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, second by Grant. This lists our appointees to the grievance board. They'll typically serve for staggered 2-year terms. For this first half-year appointee term, they'll serve a shorter term and some longer to set us up for 2 years. This is to get us in alignment. The appointees represent employees from all divisions of the city. Going forward, the appointees will come before council for approval with our December boards and commissions. Any further discussion there? All right, all in favor? Thank you. Motion carries. All right, lastly, we have our ATAX Advisory Committee recommendation approval. Grant?
I make a motion to approve the ATAX Advisory Committee funding recommendations.
All right, you've heard that motion. We have a second.
Second.
Okay, second by Kelly.
The ATAX Committee has recommended funding for the projects listed that were in our packet, and the total amount granted was $90,000 is what they approved. This, by the way, is a group of individuals within the city of Travelers Rest that are allocating the state's money that we are given through the ATAX that is collected by the businesses.
Any further discussion or questions there? All right, all in favor? Motion carries. Thank you. And lastly, our Visit Travelers Rest budget approval. Grant?
I make a motion to approve the Visit Travelers Rest tourism promotion budget.
Okay, you've heard that motion. We have a second.
Second.
Second by Catherine.
This also is part of the state ATAX funds. It is not part of the funding projects that we just approved. This is actually a separate part of the exact same ATAX system that is set up by the state. And Wendy did a wonderful job
Yes, she
of
did.
presentation last week.
Did a great job educating us too. I always appreciate that. All right, any further discussion regarding our Travelers Rest, Visit Travelers Rest budget? All right, all in favor? Motion carries. Thank
Will
you,
y'all
guys.
send us that presentation she did?
Yes. All right, miscellaneous matters, administrative update. Shannon Herman.
Thank you, Mayor Amadon. First, I'd like to start off by introducing our Furman Shy Institute planning intern for the summer, Aubrey. Aubrey joined us this week, and she's hit the ground, or last week, I believe, actually, Aubrey. And she's hit the ground running, and it's great. So fantastic to have two awesome interns really helping with some heavy lifting. So she was out with a wheel measuring streets and sidewalks. So we've got her in the field.
Thank you, Aubrey. We need that.
And then I neglected to introduce to you, but she was here most of the meeting for the planning, for the committee meetings, Lindsay Kelly, who's helping us with our social media and doing a fantastic job. Immediate improvement there. So I believe I sent that out in my update to you so you could kind of see some of the statistics in month one. So we've got a lot of additional assistance and we're loving it. Looking forward to some new employees coming on now with the budget being passed. Really quickly, just a reminder that we are closed tomorrow for the Juneteenth holiday. So offices will be closed, and then and it'll come out on Sunday as a reminder, but Monday night beginning at 9 p.m. we will go down to one lane operation at the intersection at McElhaney Center in Maine for the bicycle crossing, diagonal crossing to go in. It should not impact businesses. We tried to be as least impactful as possible, but that will happen on Monday night.
I think I heard a rumor maybe the Tubbs Mountain Light is active. Is that true? I haven't drove past
When
there.
I drove by there
is
around
it
1
not?
today,
Okay.
it was up, but still had the
Yeah,
bags
Okay,
over
great,
it.
great.
There were trucks out there.
Okay, good, 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 good. Yeah, I got
And
pinged
the
on it. I was like, I don't know. I haven't
construction
drove
on
through there.
25, I talked with DOT representation today. The construction on 25, the lane closure should end today, and then they
Great.
will be finalizing their plans. And thank you to the police department for helping kind of with a little bit of chaos today. But that's coming along. The lights are up, and I think they're wrapping that project up as well. And then they are participating in a corridor study with us on the length of 25 through Travelers Rest city limits. And so we'll be circling up on the results of that in the next couple weeks.
Is the closure just Monday night?
The closure for the, yes, it's reduction down to one lane
Oh, sorry, yeah,
operations,
the reduction, okay.
I know Lisa mentioned in her report for Public Works that they had a lot going on, but I think every department and every employee at the city is on all cylinders. And so just want to say from a council standpoint that we recognize that you guys are working really, really hard. It's like every project we have ever been working on in the history of Travelers Rest is happening this month and last month and I guess July. And so we know everybody's working really hard and maybe you're a little tired, but the city recognizes all the improvements and we hear about it a good bit. I know you're also dealing with, change is hard and people get nervous and you've done something to disrupt their life, even in a good way. And so I appreciate you taking those phone calls and trying your best to educate the public and keep us all in line. But it's a lot and we know that.
Thank you. I would reiterate your thanks to staff. It's just been incredible to watch this team pull together in every single position across every single department. We're really proud of the work, and I'm really grateful to work with this type of team.
And next week is like all hands on deck.
It is all hands on deck.
Yeah.
But y'all gonna feed us first.
Yeah. We're going to eat well. We're going to eat well that weekend. So great. Does anyone on council have anything for the good of council?
Just a reminder that the drone show is next Saturday, correct? So therefore, those that are listening, we're going to have some traffic. We're going to have some traffic. I'm not going to say snafus or anything. We're going to have some traffic in town next Saturday. So please be aware of that and just be kind. It'll be difficult. This show, as we proved last year, is one of the biggest things, if not the biggest thing that has ever gone on within the city of Travelers Rest. So excited to see it come back for a second year.
Quick question regarding that, because this is only the second year. Weather, if there is some kind of weather situation happening, thunderstorms or whatnot, what is that? What happens with the show, I guess, obviously?
We will wait as long as we possibly can for the weather to participate with us.
3 o'clock in the morning.
There is a clause that the show would come back within a 6-month period.
Okay.
But obviously, all of the coordination and efforts to come through. If it's going to clear in a manner that we can participate, we will. So please, all of you, send up your prayers, your affirmations, your crossed fingers and toes.
Yeah, I was actually going to say that, Cheryl. I was like, we don't have a contingency rain plan for Dicey dedication on Friday. Just pray, Lord, just give us a couple hours. I think it's going to be great. Hurricane Arthur, whatever his name is, he's going to move on and do something else. So.
And
Well,
will we do social media updates?
Yes, we will do social media updates, and of course, our fire department, per our policy, would make the call on the weather delay.
And this is a little in the weeds too, but I know Beth is working on parking for that Friday, and we have the trolley running, and House Mortuary is helping us with their golf cart, and so we're trying to do all the things to move people around in a good, safe way. But it's going to be a lot of people in Travelers Rest next weekend. So
Do we have from previous, like a little map with like parking lots, like an illustration type map?
It's a fantastic question. Yes, we usually produce those per event because
Okay.
it depends on, what event, which ones we really want to highlight. We have a parking map on our website all the time, but we will be highlighting it. And I neglected to say, but Philip was able to work some miracles and get a driveway pipe put in on the second portion of the railroad
saw
parking
that.
lot, and gravel to go. We refreshed the gravel. We're doing a dress up all around town, but that will allow us, if weather permitting, to use that grass lot as well and
great.
really park in. And an appreciation in advance to Trailside Church because they volunteered some parking attendants to us through the evening.
Oh,
So.
fantastic.
I was just going to say, speaking of weather, tonight is calling for tornadoes, so everybody make good choices and be safe
Yeah. What time did this like? late?
overnight.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Thank you for that. All right, anyone else on council have anything for the good of council? Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor? Awesome. Thank you all for being here. We appreciate it.